Hello YouTube and welcome to episodes 10 and 11 in the Tatami Galaxy reaction series. We're wrapping it up today. There's been some talk about the OVAs. I've got them downloading right now. If I feel okay at the end, I might watch them. If not, I might watch them a little bit later. They seem fairly short either way. Either way, just going to jump into the comments for the latest video to see what you guys had to say. Got a couple comments here from TJ Gibson. Great episode, great vid. This episode is really what brings the whole show together so well with the little details from other episodes. The revelation that Ozu had a girlfriend this whole time is so well done, and I love how you can tell this completely shatters the MC's worldview. My interpretation of it is less that the MC is mad that Ozu has everything that he wants, more so that he thought that Ozu and him were wasting their college lives together, and the realization that Ozu wasn't wasting theirs came as sort of a betrayal and forces him to look inward, as you said. Great stuff, super excited for the finale. Yeah, I probably agree with your interpretation a little bit more now upon reflection, now that I think about it. Again, it's less jealousy and more they thought they had a special relationship. He was dragging him down and he was kind of happy about that. Discovery that he wasn't that special to Ozu is, again, it shatters his worldview. TJ Gibson continues here. Oh yeah, also for Tatami Time Machine Blues, it actually just finished airing 2 days ago, and so I just binged it. I didn't have high hopes going in since I knew Yuasa wasn't directing. This was stupid of me, the show is incredible and definitely a worthy successor. The writing, characters, and wit are all as strong as ever, and while you can feel Yuasa's absence, the show still uses the original's art style really well, and the director they brought in, Shingo Natsume, from One Punch Man Season 1, Space Dandy, and Sunday Boy, is definitely no slouch. Yeah, those are all really great shows. Definitely my anime of the year and a must watch. As for Night is Short and Time Machine Blues first, it doesn't matter at all. Neither are connected to each other or the main story, they are all their own things. So, I'm definitely going to do Night is Short Walk On Girl. I might just pump the brakes on Time Machine Blues just for now. Just for no particular reason other than I just wanted to give it a little breathing space between the rest of it. I mean, part of the appeal of the show, I'm sure, is that it's coming however long after the other one. So when did Tatami Galaxy air? Probably 10 years ago, more. So if I give it a little bit more space, maybe I'll see the appeal in that way as well. I don't know, probably a few weeks, we'll say. But yeah, it's definitely still on the agenda. The next comment here is by Bomation. Just found this reaction. Glad to see more people giving the series some love. Hyped to see reactions to episode 10 and 11. Thank you. Another good show from the same director is Ping Pong the Animation. Please consider watching it if you haven't already. It's on the list. Definitely is. Mostly because Kensuke Ushio's on it as well, and I think he is just the best. So, any more of his music would be ideal in my life, I think. But yeah, thanks for the comment. And the last comment here by Sloth Guy. There are 3 short OVAs if you want to react to them before watching the movie. I'll see how I go. Probably maybe next week, maybe midweek. Just another day when I'm just got the camera on, might flick them on. Just yeah, bit tired today, honestly. I don't really know if I should be recording, but we're here. We'll see what happens. Maybe the show will pep me up. Just got a quick recap of the last episode before we jump into the last couple episodes in the series. The episode opens and our main character is back in the role of the leader of the cleanup corps and is stealing the aircraft designed by Akashi-san. He has everything he wants at this moment: the money, the girls, the raven haired maidens, all of it. Akashi-san catches him in the act and confronts him about this new role. He accepts this confrontation wholeheartedly and even offers Akashi-san some work, to which she slaps him in the face and calls him an idiot and rides off into the moonlight. We flash back to the start of university and our main character chooses the Lucky Cat Chinese Restaurant Secret Society, which is a secret society. It's what it says on the tin. All the things that go on in the university are controlled by this organization, and they're led by a character called Aijima Senpai. We've seen him just kind of in the background of previous episodes. Initially, our main character joins the library police, in which he has to retrieve overdue library books, but it's also a front for like a massive information gathering network. Our main character tries to steal 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea from Higuchi-san, which we've seen in previous loops as well, but Ozu is like hindering our main character doing this, and Higuchi's also really good at escaping, so he isn't really very successful in this endeavor. Yeah, as the main character is demoted from the library police to the print shop, Ozu rises from his role in the library police up to being Aijima's kind of right-hand man. Ozu further sabotages the main character's work with the print shop using fireworks. Our main character tries to garner more favor by helping Aijima Senpai hook up with Akashi-san. Akashi has no interest and instead continues to talk with the main character. This causes Aijima to kind of be infuriated and further demotes the main character down to the cleanup corps, where he doesn't really fit in with his skill set. Aijima then tries to play a prank on Jogasaki-san involving Kaori. This is in an attempt to get on Akashi-san's good side, but the main character gets in the way. At this point, he kind of just hides from the secret society for a bit and lets it all kind of boil over. When he comes back, Aijima has been ousted, and Ozu is the new kind of leader of the secret society. Ozu immediately promotes our main character to the leader of the cleanup corps, and again, it links back to the start of the episode where he kind of has everything that he wants, or everything that he thinks he wants. After the slap, our main character reflects back on kind of his life and his journey through the show so far and wonders if it was all worth it. Higuchi drops some dimes of knowledge in this section as well, which I thought were quite poignant. After this discussion, our main character is kind of fed up, goes drinking with Hanuki-san, who mentions Ozu's girlfriend. At this point, our main character is kidnapped by Aijima-senpai, and he's kind of chasing down Ozu. Ozu has essentially been leveraging the secret society to kind of steal the blimp from Honwaka and take his girlfriend to see the 5 mountains of Kyoto at once. I've done a little bit of research, and the 5 mountains is in reference to some temples, I believe. Kind of this epic escape plays out, but it's got this really sad, muted music under it. It's like we're seeing this kind of epic action scene play out from a main character's perspective, who is just absolutely like flabbergasted and devastated at the prospect that this has even happened. At the end of it all, he vows to not leave his tatami mat room for all of his college life, kind of closing himself off from Ozu and the outside world as a result. And that's where we leave off going into 10 and 11, which you guys have implied to be kind of linked, so we'll see. Just some small predictions going forward. These are pretty general. There'll be some kind of finality to it all. There'll be like a final conflict and revelations regarding Ozu, I would believe. What happens with Akashi-san? Does our main character take his head out of the ground and out of his ass and actually take the opportunity that's right in front of him? Is there something to do with the book? Is there something to do with the globe? These are things that I'm keeping in my mind. And something about explaining the loop system, maybe? Or maybe it's just magic and it doesn't need to be explained. Either way, excited to jump into episode 10 right away. But first, I'm just going to do my shill stuff. So if you like the video, consider liking the video. If you like the video and want to see more, consider subscribing to the channel. Comment below anything you thought about the episode, anything I can do to improve my presentation, comment below. And I'm doing follow for follow on Twitter, so follow me on Twitter if you'd like me to follow you back. Rightio, just going to jump into episode 10 of the Tatami Galaxy. Rightio, got episode 10 up here ready to go. Of course, there'll be a picture-in-picture down in the description. Use it at your leisure, but again, there'll be the timer version here as well. We pop that up on screen. 22 minutes and 50 seconds. Didn't even have to look. I know at this point. And yeah, we're just going to jump right in. Yeah, let's give it a 3, 2, 1. Rightio, 3, 2, 1, go. Okay. Okay. Oh my god. Oh my god. That's literally worse than prison. It's so much better in comparison. Is it now? This is beautiful. Okay. My way of life is the best way of life. But where is the person responsible? Okay. That was a lot of words about a 4.5 tatami room. He seems pretty happy about it. Well, for now anyway. We'll see what happens. Definitely recording? Hell yeah, I am. These designs in the opening are slightly different. Like, I was looking at Jogasaki back then, I'm like, what? I wonder if the whole episode takes place within this room. I'm gonna be needing to get my reading glasses on because he does speak fast. At least the other characters speak a little bit slower. I guess that a little bit talks to his character. Kind of this really like overthinking, self-aware type operator. I just want to see him happy, man. Just want to see Akashi happy. I want to see the main character happy. That's all I really want. Wow. Or the music, or lack thereof. Like a monk. Yeah, it looks like a real hoot. I mean, I like my alone time. I can't front. Ooh, is it now? Yeah, I've been there. I don't know about that one. Mostly because we're not very good at it. Library of Obscenity. Okay. Yep. Mm-hmm. They're under the sea at the moment. Am I grasping at straws potentially? But the link to the book. Hmm. That kitchen is tiny. The background. Wow. Ooh. Hang on. It is pouring outside too. Jesus. Ooh. That's so cool. Oh my god. Because like the background was slightly moving there. So what's the deal here? Is he like walking through a door and then finding another tatami room, kind of like the opening? Yeah. Or kind of like the ED as well. Oh, is that the I think I know what he's talking about. Yeah, you reckon? Oh, this is incredible. Oh my god. How did they even do this? The way this episode looks is like a marvel. What's that tissue though? What you been up to, big dog? It looks kind of comfy, honestly. I don't know about sitting on the ground. You think it's the fortune teller's fault? Cope. Well, how does he even find the opportunity? Wait, what? Is it still here? That's really good VA work too. Love that. Oh, hello, Johnny. Maybe that's got something to do with the tissues as well. Yeah, what's in the next room over? Same shit? Oh, Castella. We love that. No, you're trapped, bro. I like the blush there too. Because it's like almost entirely black and white, right? Except for certain aspects of him. Or at least grayscale. I've seen this in a movie. I mean, pipes are pretty thin, bro. Don't need the moth. Ooh, not that many pills. Oh, it's like a full Castella now. He loves it. Well, don't eat that every meal every day. You'll not feel very good. Yes, Johnny? Ooh. Ooh. Oh no. The colour's back though. I must say I'm not a fan of cockroaches. They just don't die. Maybe you should do your dishes. Ooh. Well, that's an entire room of trash. Yeah, no. Perfect. Great. Oh, he hates it. Somebody here? Hmm. Oz is still feeding him, huh? Hmm. Yeah. Isn't this a little egocentric, potentially? Hmm. What about human interaction? This is coffee. Okay. At least he's getting some exercise in. Based off what energy, I don't know. Cool. What's he cooking? How many push-ups did he do too? It's pretty impressive. Latte art? Yeah. Oh, the sound effect there was fun too. Oh, singular tear. Hmm. Ah, he's reading the book though. Hang on, he's growing a beard. Hmm. Hmm. Oh, just pushed to the edges. This is so claustrophobic. Alchemy. Oh, money. That's a lot of money. Oh, the money. The money that he finds later. Oh my god. No way. That's so cool. Like, whatever episode that was, the one with the brush. Hmm. That's what I would have done. Ooh. Whisper sweet nothings. Why would you want to hear about it? Yeah, break it all down. It'll definitely work. Hmm. You know what? I could actually. That'd be a cool piece of merch. Getting one of those. Hang it from my room. He's losing it. Super drunk. Maybe. It's kind of like purgatory in its own way, right? Hmm. Oh, secret society. Oh. Yeah. Yeah, okay. The big revelation. I love it. Hence the Tatami Galaxy, of course. There's Kaori. Don't do it, bro. This is depressing as. Mental ruffian. Huh. The colors here are incredible. Hello? Of course they are. Yeah. Didn't probably need that scene, I got it. Hmm. Watch your own movie? Or watch his movie? Huh. Actual cats in its broth. Face like Glenn Quagmire. Yeah, he's weird as. Yeah? He's super losing it. Yep, that's what he sounds like. No, don't make me cry. Man. Oh, and then this is the, yep, when he breaks through, right? This is the Honwaka, right? Not a let in. Hmm. Still the opportunity, huh? Even Johnny's worn out. Yeah, this can no longer continue. Oh, that was incredible. I loved that episode. I basically confirmed a bunch of stuff that I thought, but did it in a pretty awesome way. I guess I never really thought about the bag of money as being a bit of a red herring, but that needed explaining. Red herring's the wrong word. An inconsistency. Deus Ex Machina. That now isn't a Deus Ex Machina because we now know a little bit more about what was actually going on. And then, yeah, it reveals a lot about the CD as well. Yeah, that was one of my favorite episodes of the show for sure. And it's entirely, or at least pretty much entirely, a singular voice actor, right? Just talking to himself. It's incredible. I particularly like the line around I saw these other like realities that I was in, and no matter how bad they seemed at the time, they all seem more fun than what I was doing now. I think that's really important. One more to go. Radio, just going to jump into a quick bit of analysis on that episode. So yeah, as I kind of said in the ED there, I really loved that episode. I think it was really great. Uh, just kind of a really internal look at how the main character kind of operates. Really great look at self isolation, great look at depression, both the benefits and the ultimate kind of disadvantages of self isolation. Gives you a lot of time to reflect, but at some point you do have to get up, get out, go into the world, and do some stuff. Human interaction is important, and I think he's learning that. Even if you think at all times it might all lead to doom and gloom, it's at least better than nothing at all, which is what he's doing at the moment. Either way, I got the episode up here. I'm just going to go through and pause when I want to talk about some stuff, really. I don't know if there'll be that much to talk about because there isn't really a huge plot to it all. It's kind of just instead a really detailed look at one character's psyche. I will highlight a lot of the production stuff though, because I think it's really cool, and the color work throughout is just masterful. I should really look up the whoever did the colors for this because they're seriously talented. This first scene is where he kind of Goldilocks esque tries to convince himself that the 4.5 tatami room is the best. He goes through a bunch of different places that have smaller tatami rooms, and then I'm like, well, in comparison to those, I'm way better. And then all those people that have larger rooms than me, they're all bougie. They don't understand. They're greedy. You know, I'm the perfect middle. This is where I'm supposed to be right now. I love the different patterns on the tatami here. So very beautiful. For right now, it looks kind of blissful, doesn't it? We humanity have the ability to rule 4.5 tatami and smaller places. Again, anything bigger is just greedy. He's like, yeah, this room is my entire world. It's magnificent, isn't it? But still, the point remains, where is the person responsible? Again, I think he's right about there. But again, he's come to realize that now, of course. Of course, gives great insight into the opening now. Like, this is. A lot of these rooms are literally used in the backgrounds of this episode. As I was saying in kind of the episode 2, I think I started to come to this realization. Going through all these different rooms that are very similar, but slightly different, it's akin to choosing a club. It's akin to choosing your way through your college life. From that perspective, it's easy to see why the main character is not named. It's so he's a self insert. It's so this is any college student. This is kind of a guide in a way, right? Each of these rooms is a different person's life. Even though the room itself is very similar, they're going to go off and do wildly different things. But the most important thing is that they go off and do those things instead of wallowing away. Again, easier said than done, but really good moral. I really enjoy that. See a direct piece of contrast here. Normally we have kind of the Sakura petals falling down and he picks a club. At this point, he didn't pick any club. He instead chose to stay in his room, waste away his days. We now know that, hey, this is the worst timeline because then he starts to look really internal and then his psyche kind of breaks and then, yeah, he kind of loses it. And again, sees a literal representation of his missed opportunity each and every time. In this case, the opportunity was the flyer in front of him and not exactly Akashi-san. I love how mundane all of this is shot here. Like, he's doing nothing at all. Now, I'm not familiar with 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea, but this room is under the sea, and then he peers into various different locations within the room. Again, it's akin to, he's deluding himself. He kind of thinks that I like me. This whole room encompasses things about me. It's a very literal. He's got a telescope. It's a very literal look into himself, right? Because there's nothing else to look at, right? Like, he's got his dirty dishes on one side of the room, and then his porn mags on the other side of the room, and then his vacuum cleaner, his rice cooker. It's, it's the application of something like an epic adventure to the mundane. Again, as a kind of a coping mechanism. This is probably the first use of it we see, this background technique. It's very similar to the ones we see throughout the show, really, but specifically during the opening. Now, this is obviously just a really mundane college room that they've set up, right? Maybe they've gone into actual students' rooms, I don't know, and they've taken some pictures. And then obviously applied this kind of black and white filter to it all. And I say they take pictures because I thought they were pictures, but they're actually video because we see some of them moving at points. And it just looks damn impressive. The blend of the live action and the animated character within the scene, it's really mind-bogglingly good. Insane attention to detail, and again, really reinforces the theme of this being in every story. The main character isn't named, it's you. You can really self-implant yourself into the scene. Feels like it's actually lived in. Endlessly impressive. One of the best parts about the show for sure. Here's where we see he kind of starts to lose it. He gets up to go see the door because there's been a knock on the door. He opens the door and there's another tatami room. He does the same on the opposite end of the thing and there's another tatami room. He is surrounded by tatami rooms. Yeah, like right here. See that stuff in the background move? How cool's that? Yeah, here. That's so cool. I do also like how he keeps going back into bed as well. Like, oh, it's all a bad dream. I'll wake up here in a second. It'll be fine. A famous short story begins with a normal man who one morning turns into a poisonous insect. Is this, Franz Kafka? What's it called? I'll look this up. Hang on. Yeah, Franz Kafka's Metamorphosis. Is that what he's referring to here? Kind of becomes an outcast, is like ostracized from society, can't even interact with anybody else. For me, it was not something so dramatic, but it had definitely become a problem. Yeah. In that way, he's kind of ostracized himself from society, right? Again, getting very deep, aren't we? For a very English student. Wouldn't going crazy trying to get at me be quite shallow as a human? No. And him realizing this is part of the journey for sure. Like, I hate to keep bringing it up, but like, look at this. Let him turn the pages. Oh my goodness. How good is that? He thinks it's the curse of the fortune teller that has made him this way, that he's forced him into this journey. No, you're the one responsible for sure. He cries out for help, finds the Castella, because he finds the Castella and thinks that there may be people around, of course. Tries to go through the roof, ends up on the other side of a room. Of course, they are all around him in a three-dimensional space as well. Is the large amount of literary references like kind of talking to his love of reading and the amount of books on his wall and this kind of thing? Because they're talking about Robinson Crusoe here as well. I don't know. Could be a theory there. Here, the main character reveals that a few days ago he got a Castella from a person named Ozu. So on each of the boxes, it's like, oh yeah, this is from Ozu, this is from Ozu, this is from Ozu. Could we make some connection like that? Ozu as a concept is keeping him indoors and keeping this kind of bad habit sustained through food? Maybe. Either way, Castella and fish burgers isn't a very good diet. You need some, vitamins and stuff in there, man, as well. Maybe that's what all the pills were about. Again, this is where Ozu leaves another kind of Castella for him and also takes care of the cockroach problem that he's having. Again, keeping him indoors. There may be something here, I think. Or I could be completely misreading it, I don't know. This is kind of a final attempt to cope his way out of it. He's like, actually, no, this is kind of like a expansive world within my own room. This is okay, right? With the limit of my own imagination, what limit is there, right? I can see anything I want whenever I want. Extremely internal looking. Huge ego to it all. Not healthy. Human interaction is good. Do it. Here he is literally laying on a tatami galaxy as well. I just thought I would mention it. This kind of represents him trying to make the most of it all. He's working out, he's eating, he's trying different things. I could even remodel all of this stuff into whatever I wanted. It's, my own personal little world. And then just a singular tear rolls down his cheek into the bath. Does this look like his own happy little world right now? I don't think it does. Here's where he kind of loses it. His hair starts to grow out. His beard starts to grow out. Starts drinking, reading 20,000 Leagues Under the Ocean, or Under the Sea. And singing all these songs really loudly that he knows, just so he remembers them, just so he has some kind of connection to what he was before. He quotes the smell here as the thing that he can't stand the most and wants to get away from it. He hastily leaves on a journey to get far away from his own room. And this is where he starts pushing the boundaries. He goes hundreds and hundreds of rooms that way, then turns a different way, then turns a different way, and sees that it's endless, really. You know what this reminds me of in a weird way? It might be the bookshelf. Interstellar. I don't know why, but he's kind of like broken through the bookshelf to change something in another timeline. That's a weird connection, isn't it? Oh yeah, spoilers for Interstellar, by the way. Now this is where this shit starts to like really pop off. This is one of the big reveal moments of the entire show, really. This like floored me. He found the money to give to himself back in the old timeline to perpetuate the kind of situation he's going on, perpetuate the looping, right? He is his own worst enemy. If he didn't have the money, he would have moved on and done something else and not been Higuchi-san's disciple. But him in another timeline collected all this money for not for that purpose, but it was kind of a weird coincidence. This combined with the as soon as you see his hair start to grow and the beard start to grow, you're like, shit, that's him from before when he burst through the wall in episode 5 or whatever it was, the Honwaka one. Incredible stuff. Just like really links back to some mysteries that I'd honestly even forgotten about. Yeah, just incredible job. Love that. It's made my brain work. Neuron activated stuff. He now starts to notice that, hey, these rooms aren't identical, they're slightly different. They have different books on the shelf, the tatamis are slightly different as well, weird changes on the desks, but they're so gradual that you can't really tell. Here he remembers a frankly strange encounter with the Chinese exchange students in the next room, and thinks, hey, I can probably break down these walls considering they're soundproof. And of course, as we've come to expect, it is the same tatami room again, with the Mochiguman continuing to taunt him all along. Now he really starts to lose it. He's flopping around everywhere, jumping around randomly, breaking stuff, just really wants to get out. In this room was something I did not remember. It's the kind of logo for the Lucky Cat Chinese Restaurant Secret Society, the thing we saw last episode. And here's where he makes the discovery that I've probably known all along. Then again, each of these rooms is a different version. It's a different club he picked. It's a different way that his college life played out. And now he comes to that realization, and it's powerful. This is the stuff here that like makes me fucking sad. This is sad as. I almost cried during this episode, man. Like here, he sees a better life, something that he thought was so kind of dull, so not rose-colored before, is actually now in full color compared to the grayscale of the rest of the tatami rooms. This was perceived as bad before. Now this seems like the best thing ever. He had close relationships with everybody, went out drinking, all these other things, all these things you should be doing during your college life. And now he begins to realize that. I wonder what choice I made. In this world, I was close to Hanuki-san, and I had a doll in my room, and I seemingly was exchanging letters with another lady as well. Isn't this so much infinitely better than what I'm doing now? Stuck in my room? In this reality here, it seems like he was doing baseball, but there's also like maracas or something there as well. An occupant of this room seemed like he would reach towards the heavens. I remembered feeling somewhat afraid. Did I search for an even greater happiness than this, like Icarus? Yeah, you did. You kept going. You kept taking that kind of Icarus philosophy to the nth degree. And this is where you ended up. Flying back down to Earth. He ruminates here about Higuchi-san and Jogasaki-san and how he never really even met them. But he has the feeling that he has. He has the feeling of closeness to these people. Same with Hanuki-san before that I forgot to mention. These are the people that I should associate with, right? These are the people I'm meant to associate with if I left the house. He describes them in such detail, even though they're merely just side characters to him. He has no knowledge of them in this timeline, but he knows so much about them. Again, he continues to lose it, kind of got the cardboard cutouts here that he's playing with. If only there was some evil companion around to make fun of me for what I'm doing at the moment. He even misses Ozu in his own twisted way. But every single occupant of these rooms seemed to be having fun, even if it weren't rose-colored. I could see that each 4.5 tatami room had its own color to it. Man, you could do an absolute like thesis on the color analysis of the show too. Because every single time he's walking in, he's got the sakura petals. That's the rose-colored life that he's he's trying to attain, right? He tries to, and then it turns into a different color as soon as he grabs it, of course, corresponding to probably each of these rooms here. Was it possible for me to have made these choices, I wonder? Yes. Yes, it is. And this is the connection to the scene at the end of episode 5 where he busts through and kind of scares himself in the past, present, I guess, before getting shut out. This can no longer continue, he says, and then we see Johnny and his horse out of gas. Again, I never really thought about what Johnny represented. I just thought it was his libido, but maybe it's something stronger as well. His desire in general. And yeah, that's when we jump into the ED. And now the ED is, yeah, it's what I thought it was about. All these different interconnected rooms is literally what this episode is describing. And yeah, now we're going to jump into the final episode. Hopefully there's some kind of resolution here. And I'm definitely in agreement. This would be a very bad stopping point. Do not stop here. What a bummer. But now I get to see how he gets out of it, hopefully. Or maybe it's just going to have a downer ending. I don't know. Either way, just going to jump into episode 11 right now. Radio, got episode 11 up here ready to go. Let me get that up on screen. 22 minutes, 51 seconds. What a twist. And yeah, we're just going to jump right into episode 11. Radio, going to give it a 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1, go. Yeah. Iron armor. Ooh, he's sick. Oh. What are we doing? Good. Okay. Wait, what? Uh, Big Japanese? I'm guessing this is just the credits, but like cursed. Hmm. It's like a cursed version of the ED. These lyrics are kind of resonant now too, I'm guessing. A little bit more than before. Well, when I read them the first time anyway. I still don't know what all this stuff about the love thief is, but anyway. I would have to compare this to the actual ED. I'm wondering if it's like flipped on its axis or something like that as well. Apologize for hitting the mic if I did. All my video file just skipped to the end of the episode? I don't think it did. Yeah, there we go. I didn't think we'd go this far back. Wow. What about the 4.5 Tatami age, where we are right now? Perfect. Mm-hmm. Oh, this is cool. Yes. My senpai. Yes, I remember that too. Hmm. Yep, that reminds me of somebody. Yeah. Also the purple. Purple's his color. Yes, I remember. Hmm. That shot's really good. I'm happy they reused it. Huh. I don't know. He's kind of profound in his weird way. Hmm. True. Hmm. That's cool in retrospect, isn't it? Hmm. Incredible. I was gonna say they look good, but I'm not sure they do. Wish I had some rice. Well, we have to eat the same thing for that long. Oh, now I'm hungry. It's about lunchtime here. Hmm. Take me to Neko Ramen. Yes. Yeah. In his own weird way. Don't cry for Ozu. Come on, man. Where's Akashi? Show me Akashi, damn it. You just pocket someone's phone? What would have been his own phone? Oh. Huh. Okay. The symbolism there is insane. Hence the Honwaka blimp. Oh. Maybe they weren't temples then. Maybe I was wrong. No, if he's a romantic. This different face, too. Yes. No way. Does he not have power? There's some kind of opportunity? The Squid Man. The good and the bad. Either's better than this. Go to the bathroom, bro. He's back to the start. Hmm. Beautiful. Great. Wonderful. Tell me a story. Who is that? Great. Don't steal. Weird metaphor, but okay. Ooh, this shot is insane. It's like a train. Oh, is it full of moths? Brilliant. Oh, he's out. You did it. He grabbed the opportunity. When it's a festival. Isn't it a festival in the first episode? Daimonji. Oh, the smell. He's still kind of freaking out. And I would probably have a shave. I saw that in my Google search as well. Are they trying to find Ozu? Yeah. Oh, oh shit! Oh my god! Yo! This is all in the first episode, right? They're all here. I made it out. Oh my god. Bro. It's beautiful. Oh my god. He's naked. Somebody stop this man. He's got an insane jump on him. Oh, Higuchi loves it. Our true fated pair. Oh my god, the moth swarm. Akashi. Huh. The river's gone kind of nuts. Musubi. Hmm. Look at this Evangelion ass shit. Bye bye. Yeah, my cock's out. Hmm. Yeah, all of them. Everybody that Ozu had wronged. Try to recover. They're all gone. Well, no, they're all gone, but... Oh, there we go. The underpants thief. Oh, and then she gives him the underwear. Great. Yeah, me too. Beautiful. This is heaven right here. But it does taste like cats. Ha, yeah. Break that fourth wall. Ha ha ha. We won. That's why. Half forced. What are the bottle caps? The one true pair right here. Dark scorpion pink. Oh, he moved out. Oh, isn't that a bit too much? Ah, beautiful. Yeah. Yeah, he fell and yeah. I think he might. He's whipped. Thought you were being dumped. Hey yo. That would really hurt on your leg. Since when do you have money? You're so evil. Little reversal. It's nice. Oh, and even the face. Is that it? Oh, and then it was a true reversal, right? Because now it's the opening, and before it was the ED. Because we're kind of reversing back through the show. Yeah, right. Cool. Yeah, that was spectacular. How good's this show? I didn't know. I guess people had no reason to lie, but it's really, really good. I don't know why I didn't expect it to be good. Of course, it's good. And now it's over in its weird way, right? At least there's part of it. Again, I don't really know the context for how this continues. I guess it doesn't continue, it's just like a side story, you know? Potentially a different loop for all involved. Is that kind of foreshadowing for the two sides of Ozu as well? Now I've unfortunately ran out of time, so I'll pick this up tomorrow morning and kind of sleep on the episode a little bit and really give my thoughts on analysis tomorrow. What I really think about the show in totality may give me a little bit of time to read on some stuff as well. Either way, I'll see you tomorrow morning, which is be like 5 seconds from now. So goodbye. Yeah, hey, hi, I'm back. It's the next morning, and I've had a little bit of a chance to sleep on the last episode of the show and kind of think about Tatami Galaxy as a whole. I must say, kind of me talking to myself in these four walls about anime to essentially my own camera. I don't know. The stuff in Tatami Galaxy can't help but feel a little bit resonant for sure. At least they've got somebody on the other side watching, which is nice, as opposed to our main character in the situation we saw yesterday. But yeah, in totality, the show's just really excellent. I don't really have much else to say about it. It clearly knows what it's trying to do. It gets in, it gets out, and yeah, it's hugely successful in its endeavors. I have a couple questions about like the novel. So does the novel go into a little bit more detail about certain stuff and certain loops and blah 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 like that? Is it a perfect adaptation of the novel is my question. Because the thing about it to me is it really feels like it's made for the medium. You know what I mean? It doesn't feel like we're cramming another story into anime. It feels like it was made to be an anime, and that's important. I don't know, just endlessly impressive. It really, really is. Can't recommend this show enough, especially to 20 somethings around college age. It'll probably hit pretty hard. Either way, I'll pop the episode up here. And yeah, we'll go into the episode in a little bit more detail, just kind of to jog my memory about what actually happened. I mean, I know what happened, but you know what I mean, just the actual order of it. We start off with this segment right at the beginning, and I'm not really sure I know the context of it. He says he puts on a giant armor suit when leaving the tatami room. You know, puts up a kind of barrier between him and the rest of the world. That makes sense, I think. And then we're kind of picturing this through a little bit of a kind of sci-fi-ish lens. This almost looks Trigger to me. That's pretty crazy. Yeah, big mech dude shooting laser beams and stuff. Yeah, however, the more I defeat, the more this indescribable loneliness presses down upon me. I've got this giant shield around me from the outside world, but because I'm shielding out also the good stuff, I feel empty inside. Like, it's however many years later, and it's still the Evangelion moral, right? It's the humanities and life in general. It's about taking the good with the bad, right? You know, we can. I spoilers for Evangelion, by the way. We can all become a kind of like amalgamous blob person and all become together with no good and no bad. Or maybe the human experience is a little more about, taking the good with the bad because, that's a more interesting journey. I don't know. That's a huge oversimplification of what happens in that show, but yeah, it's, same kind of stuff applies here. And yeah, he screams out here, I wish I could go back in time to that day, change my decisions. I want out of this armor. I want to be naked. Let's go. And then something really interesting happens. So yeah, we kind of see our normal reversey stuff, which is cool. He's going back, it makes sense. And then the ED plays, but it's like a photo negative version of the ED. And I read the kind of the lyrics and the verses when I read it. Those hit a little bit more resonant to the themes of the show. I still don't know what the chorus is about and how it's relevant at all. But yeah, this is like I don't know what I don't really know how to describe it. It's kind of a reversal of what we've been doing up to this point, literally down to the anime production level, right? So the protagonist is going to reverse his kind of philosophies up to this point. Cool. And we're going to reverse the way we're producing the show as well. We're going to put the ending at the beginning, we're going to put the opening at the end. Sometimes it's about flipping it on its head. I can respect that for sure. Yeah, and then we talk about how, we're going all the way back to the beginning and then we're literally like prehistoric times, like amoebas growing and that kind of thing. The tatami mats where the dinosaurs roamed around with little, shrubberies growing out of them. Describing each of these kind of eras as the 2 tatami age, the 3 tatami age, the 4 tatami age, and the 4.5 tatami age. Which is a little bit clever for sure. So at this point, he seems like he's actually cognizant of himself going back through time. Mainly because he's now seen the other side, he's seen the infinite universes, so he knows such a thing is possible, I guess. I tried to begin studying each one of myself as a whole, kind of looking at these different loops, these different rooms that personify him, and thinking about, the lessons learned from all of them. I think that's pretty smart. But instead, he loses his motivation, and his interest is instead shifted to the traces of the various people surrounding it, the people that are important to his life, the people that appear in each and every loop, the people who he's fated to be with. We could see them there. It's Akashi, Jogasaki, Higuchi, Hanuki. Is that Ozu? Or is that Aijima? I think it might be Aijima. Again, continuing with the whole Evangelion thing, it's about human connection, human relationships. The exchange of unique ideas as opposed to one amalgamous truth. Kind of what we're talking about here. I can't isolate myself and just, talk around myself in circles. I need to actually interact with other people, and these are the people that I was meant to interact with. There's some kind of comfort in that, in that there's some kind of destiny to it all. You are in your right place right at this time at all points. He kind of goes through all these various characters and his relationships with them throughout the other loops, kind of just, jogging the audience's memories as well as his own. This is a bit of a weird part where Ijima's like dressed up in like a ninja uniform and he's going to find Higuchi, probably because of his book, and then uses this picture of Ozu that we later see as a picture of Ozu and his girlfriend as kind of an in for that. Airship Gozen Honwaka Kohinata. Okay. I think it's very interesting that Ozu got together with literally the personification of the raven haired maiden. There's something in that for sure. Like that which I thought was unattainable. My ultimate goal. Interesting. I'm not quite sure what to make of that. We kind of get these flashbacks to scenes we've seen in the past with kind of these silhouettes. Whenever we haven't talked about somebody yet, they're still silhouetted. Like you can almost remember them. He did loop through it at one point, right? But it's not all there. Jogasaki-san's pretty likable for like an absolute creep, weirdo, chauvinist piece of shit, um, which is kind of funny. But yeah, I can't help but like the whole cast now. They kind of really come together through all the loops. It's pretty cool. I wonder if all these characters come back for kind of Time Machine Blues and the Night is Short Walk On Girl and all that kind of stuff. I guess I'll say. Mr. Higuchi has feelings for Hanuki-san, yet he's still going to leave her. Well, he keeps offering for her to come with him, but it's never forceful enough. It's never, fully reciprocated. So the advice that our main character gives in the end is actually pretty good. And we see the pictures of them traveling around. That's actually, pretty good resolution for that stuff going on as well. I love this part. Kind of like all of these, like, really, like I don't know what you would even call them, like 2D models of Jogasaki-san coming together to create a three-dimensional whole. One, it's just cool to look at. Two, you could probably read into a little bit that initially he seems a little bit two-dimensional, but he grows, more dimensions through all the kind of loops. On the surface he's one thing, but he's actually deeper than that. Maybe that's reading into a little bit too much, but that's what I like to think anyway. I knew how not to partake of the world. I want some rice. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but rice isn't kind of the star of any dish. It's, pretty standard. But it's different to what he's having at the moment, which is fish, burgers, and castellas. He wants to try something new, or something that he hasn't tried in a long time. Something that's a bit of a staple, perhaps like human connection. Maybe that's a bit of a stretch as well, but I don't know. He wants to break out to find some rice balls, is my point. He would give up 1,000 fish burgers to do so. What I truly yearn for is Neko Ramen, kind of bridging back to the first episode and throughout the series. Neko Ramen's been a very important component of the show. Also, the want to go to Neko Ramen is also a want to go on a kind of date with Akashi-san to Neko Ramen. He even has some nice feelings for Ozu right here at the end as well. Maybe not as evil as I thought he was. He seemed like a bit of a bad bloke, but... Well, he was a bad bloke, but that's kind of the point, right? Is that we take the good with the bad. Kind of these bad influences in our lives. They're important as well. Interacting with such people and creating our own belief system from it is important. And also seeing more sides to Ozu than what he saw before. He only saw the bad sides. We start to see some more good sides to him as, his relationship with his girlfriend is revealed. He's actually quite the romantic. Didn't really pick it, to be honest. This also serves as kind of a recap episode in a way, right? Where, these are all the things that happen throughout the show. It's kind of, bringing everything together to a nice, satisfying climax, This feeds into this feeds into this feeds into this. It jogs your memory. It's important. If only I'd met him, then I bet my campus life would have been a fun one. Well, yeah, it would have been fun. We've been through it. He's a fun guy. Just in moderation. He pockets Ozu's smartphone at one point, and he uses this later to send a text message kind of warning him about Ijima's plan, kind of helping him to steal the blimp and see his girlfriend and do all these other things, right? We can actually take this another way. In that episode 9, where he is the villain, he is also the villain of Ozu's love story. Like, he personifies the villainous characters in all these other loops. He's actually also the villain of Ozu's own kind of victory, his own little romantic escapade. That's pretty smart, I think. Even if, he was kidnapped, he didn't really have much say in it, but you know what I mean, right? And now he's doing the exact opposite. He's stopping Aijima, or at least trying to, which is the important part. Ozu's passcode for his phone is his girlfriend's name as well. Look at him, he is sweet. I want to talk about the two faces of Ozu as well. We've got this face that he seems to put on in all these pictures with his, significant other. And then we've got the other face that he shows most of the time to us, the main character. If that makes any sense, right? Kind of, demonstrates these two sides to Ozu. But the face stuff's interesting. I'd love to see some insight on that. Tries to warn. I don't really know how the time works, but he tries to warn kind of Ozu about Aijima's plan to stop the airship and tries to let him have his happy ending as well. But the phone battery runs out and he isn't able to do it. And now we know that after the airship escape, we kind of saw it in episode whatever it was now that I'm thinking about it. The one with Honwaka, he runs away like into the distance in drag. And then that leads to the ending kind of climactic sequence we see here, also similar to the one we saw in episode 1 as well. And here's where the tears start to flow. He looks up, he sees the Mochiguman kind of plushie, and thinks to the one character he hasn't talked about so far. Well, first he actually vows all these different things that he would do if he could break out right now. It was, kind of encompassing all these different adventures that he would have done on the loops, but instead of complaining about it the whole time, he would have, enjoyed the moment a little bit more. Could it be that the corner of an endless world of 4.5 tatami rooms I believed that I was going through infinite versions of actually just the one room? Is it all inside his own head? Well, we get kind of a definitive answer later that it isn't, when all the moths kind of come out of his room all at once, right? That could only happen if there was. Anyway, we're not talking about the tangible kind of qualities of the loops. That's not important at all. That's some CinemaSins shit. The important stuff is the moths, though, and how they relate to different characters and what they do later, and blah 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 blah. You could talk about a lot about moths as a symbol for self-isolation as well, if you really wanted to be that way inclined. So I was wrong before and tried to lead into it a little bit more. This is where he talks about Akashi's-san. Has to be. Yeah, great. We see a similar scene to the one we've seen play out before. He goes to this book fair during the summer, and he kind of sees Akashi-san kind of death stares some guy that tries to steal a book. And then, yeah, he describes his feelings at the situation. For a start, it's just gorgeous. Again, we're doing all of our color stuff that's amazing. The background looks incredible. Look at a pan in the background, but the focus is solely on Akashi. At that point, the girl whose expression was like some European fortress city broke open, and her smile made an impression that has never left my mind. Aww. Look at him go. In short, frankly, to put it plainly, honestly, saying it without any reservation, at that moment, I fell head over heels for her. Again, this shouldn't be a revelation to anybody. It's pretty obvious, right? But it's nice to see it written out finally. It's I don't know, what's an equivalent? On a base level in all romance anime, you know that they're going to get together, right? Or there's going to be that they're going to subvert that in some weird way, and other shows do other different stuff. But anyway, in most stuff, you know that this is going to happen. But still seeing it happen is impactful because there's been a bunch of build up for it, and that's kind of the result here. I know this isn't really a romantic show, it kind of is, but we still get the same thing here. It's less of a confession and more of a confession to oneself. Again, very internal looking. But it pays off, is my point. It feels good. There's some somewhat convoluted stuff about leaving the Mochiguman in the kind of washing machine, like swapping some underwear, and then Akashi has his underwear from before, so maybe they were using the same laundromat or something. I don't know, it was kind of unclear to me. What's important here is I thought I should have given it to her, I thought I should have looked for her, but I had never taken the first step. I'd never seen the opportunity dangling right in front of my eyes. The classic fortune teller bit. And this is an important step, right? He finally grasps onto it. After all of these loops, he finally does it. And simultaneously kind of grabs onto it in all other loops as well. Causes kind of the building to shake, bunch of moths fly out from everywhere. The moth again alluding to Akashi-san. And he dives out of the window. And he's back. He's out. He's escaped. He's escaped purgatory in its own way. Sees the train that he's been talking about zooming past in the background. We see all of the moths escape into the night, right? Is he like a moth? Is he escaping into, finding his own moonlight? Can we talk about it like that? I don't know. Either way, he is ecstatic to be out. And that's the important part. And we really feel it as well. We feel all these isolationist. We feel isolated because we relate to the main character, and seeing him break out is also satisfying. It's just a very great conclusion to the story they've built up. I love how silent this all is. It isn't, over the top music playing or anything like that. It's just that he makes his way out, and that's the important part, right? He sees this very symbolic kind of like spring festivals and that kind of thing, like Diamonji, whatever this is. I don't know if it's a spring festival or what, but it's a very, you know, it's where you interact with a lot of humans, right? It's where a lot of different disparate groups come together. And using that as kind of the climax here is pretty cool, I think. He also smells, right? He talked about how the smell in there was unbearable. He couldn't escape it, right? Being able to smell, even fresh air. I don't know if they're cooking something or anything like that. I would imagine a festival like that would smell pretty good. We'd really feel it. That's my point, right? Is all the things they've done to make us relate to the main character and now paying off in spades, make it for just a really satisfying conclusion. Everybody can't help but look technicolored as a result, right? Anything is better than the dreary kind of grayness that I've been seeing in my own room for however long. I think he says 2 months. This is also mirroring the OP where we see the characters change costumes a lot as well. We get this POV shot where he walks up and looks across the way. He looks across to the other bridge where there's a commotion going on. I wonder who's causing it. Now, this is awesome. I love this. Well, either way, he grabs the telescope and looks across. That's how he can see it. This is a scene, I'm guessing, from episode 1, where we didn't even know that was Jogasaki-san yet, right? Similar to this one here, where we didn't even know that was Aijima Senpai yet either. That's awesome. I love that. Because in the first loop, the main character is just standing off to the way a little bit before choosing to jump in after Ozu, or get pushed in after Ozu. I forget what actually happened there. Oh yeah, and then this is just heartbreaking. The main character in this loop, he sees all these characters that he has known through all the other loops, all these people that he spent basically an infinite amount of time with at this point, because he's been gathering all the memories from all these different loops, even the ones that we didn't see. And as he sees them, he focuses in on Akashi, and we pan over to him. And it's really heartbreaking, honestly. Like, he's made it out. He made it out. You know what I mean? Anyway, I'm rambling. Calls out to Ozu as kind of the big, I guess, ball of moths comes flying after him. Now, this is incredible as well. This is, again, talking to our costume changing motif, right? As he runs past all these trees, he changes to the different costumes that he's been in all the previous loops. It's everything that he's been up to this point has been leading to this moment. He loses his facial hair. He becomes more like he becomes naked, actually. I was going to say he becomes more like the main character we've come to know up to this point. And God, I just got to talk about how they nail this moment. The music builds, the animation's incredible. He makes this super jump up to Ozu. Kind of here, it's like some Olympic shit. Look how happy he is. I love it. God, it's not rocket science, right? It's taking a character that you put a lot of time into, right? We've been through him on a number of loops, and each time it's been getting, kind of relatable in a way, right? They've been building up all these factors to make him relatable. Then they put him in a bad situation for essentially 1.5 episodes, like 30 minutes of screen time, and then release him from that, and you feel awesome. You feel incredible. It makes you want to apply the same principles to your own life. That's awesome. The gag here with Akashi and the moths. Like, she hates one moth. Imagine how she's going to do with a swarm. We're kind of bringing back this fourth wall breaking thing where he's talking to the viewers, which is a little bit weird to bring this back that late. But anyway, they say that the Kyoto newspapers were talking about this inexplicable swarm of moths. And we know how it happened. So again, that's like a tangible physical factor to the loops. So I guess it does actually happen and it isn't all kind of cerebral. Anyway, It's not really important at all, but I just wanted to mention it. You and I connected through the black thread of fate. He still won't let go of him. His leg's broken. You know, at this point, he could easily let Ozu go. Kind of the bad parts of life. That's what Ozu's signifying, right? But no, those are important too. When I said break a leg for a girl, I didn't mean for real. Has Higuchi been giving Ozu advice for his girlfriend? That's kind of fun. Well, Hanuki has as well, because Ozu says that he thought he was in trouble. The first thing he says to Higuchi is like, "Hanuki's waiting for you." I know that. Show her you're a man. Tell her, come with me. Now, I guess in the end of it all, he actually wasn't a god. He was just kind of LARPing, which is weird. But he definitely has this otherworldly feeling about him still, right? Like he's got it all figured out, even if he doesn't have the whole college thing figured out at all. Akashi's still freaking out about the moths. Our main character hands him the Mochiguman, and this is our moment. This is when he finally takes the opportunity that's been dangling in front of his eyes. And then, yeah, could you be the owner of the mouse colored boxes? It got switched with some men's underwear, so there's kind of that string of fate as well between the two, right? Bit of destiny to it all. I love it because it's like, what does Akashi-san need in this moment? She needs Mochiguman to calm her down. She uses those to calm herself down. What does our main character need in this moment? He needs underwear. And they trade the two. It's not Shakespeare or anything, but it's still pretty well written. And yeah, as this happens, we see the kind of fortune teller inside the clock tower. Hang on, this is hugely important. Inside the clock tower, just happy with a couple cats as well. I don't really know what the cats are about, but sure. How about we go to Neko Ramen? Sure. Easy as that. That's all he needed to do in the first episode, by the way. She would have been all about it. And then, yeah, a little bit of fourth wall stuff here as well. For some reason, I have a feeling I've been waiting for those words for a long time. And yeah, he cries in the Neko Ramen bowl. And then, yeah, we get a bunch of epilogue stuff here to kind of finish the show out. Actually, yeah, everybody's eating Neko Ramen. That's cool. They even invited Honwaka, even though they're like a weirdo cult. And then, yeah, this is some more fourth wall stuff. Kind of says the relationship with Akashi wasn't the important part of what we just watched, right? We've got our conclusion. We don't need to see the conclusion of the romance. You can assume it goes well. And that's correct. That's not what we need to say. Nothing else is as boring to tell as the story of successful love. Well, anyway, a lot of other shows will disagree. So we see our main character. He was half forced to become Higuchi's disciple. Then he's kind of taken his job over. It's kind of the end of the Proxy War episode, where now he's Higuchi-san's disciple, and he's going to continue on the Proxy War with Ozu. So that is canon. That's going to keep around. He's also using the brush to clean up Higuchi-san's room after he's left. Well, actually doing a bunch of cleaning just in general. Jogasaki-san left to get a job somewhere, but he brought Kaori with him, which is nice. Look, that's the one true pair of the show right there. He painted his bike pink. Again, kind of alluding to the bike stuff we saw in episode 3. Yeah, 3. He moved out of that 4.5 tatami room into a new 6 tatami room at a different kind of boarding house. He couldn't live in that room any longer, I don't think. That would be, a bit weird, for sure. Hanuki and Higuchi are out in Egypt having a grand old time. Look at them go. I don't know how he affords it, considering he seems like a bit of a slacker, but at least she does dentistry, so. Anyway, it's a good ending for those two characters as well. Good old Glenn Quagmire. See our main character, Nakashi, talking about Ozu's girlfriend. Ozu-san becomes really kind of embarrassed when talking about his girlfriend, and they're off to visit him in hospital at this time. Even with all the evil you did, you still had time to go out with Kohinata-san, huh? And then he's like, what are you talking about? He kind of tries to kind of play it off. And we see this face on Ozu. And it's the different face, right? Again, I'm not really sure what it all means, but it's interesting. It's when he's with his girlfriend, I think, or talking about her. It's kind of reversed here. No way I refuse, you're so evil. Well, you've been the evil one most of the show, but I digress. He just has this secret side to himself that he just, doesn't really want to talk about. That's cool too. I guess, what that commenter was talking about last episode, it's that feeling of betrayal that he was feeling into episode 10. That I thought we were lonely together. I thought we were, basking our own negative feelings together. But in reality, you'd been off, living your best life. And I'd been, wallowing in my own self-pity. Anyway, and then it downward spirals, and then we come back up out of it. Again, just satisfying character stuff. And then, yeah, we jump into the opening, and that kind of finishes the show, right? I don't think there's anything at the end. Yeah, no, there isn't. That's it. So, again, I'll reiterate the show is just fantastic. I can't recommend it enough. Especially to a certain type of person at a certain age, this could hit very hard. Yeah, just all around fantastic stuff. I can see why this went off and then Yuasa went on to become one of the big directorial names in anime. Like, it's pretty impressive, honestly. If he could get back to making some stuff like this, that'd be great. Again, I don't know. He's making something else at the moment. I think I did it in the first episode. It's called Inu or something. I forget. Either way, I hope Yuasa continues to get funding because this stuff is fantastic. And to see him even attempt to make something this good again would be an absolute delight. Huge praise to the whole production team. They killed it, from animation to music to art to color design to everything. Everything involved in it is good. I can hardly say bad things about it. The only thing I'll say is compared to my favorite shows, it's probably less. I wouldn't flick it on a rainy day, you know what I mean? You got to really sit down and feel it, rather than something that I really enjoy, which is something a little bit more frivolous. But I don't know, we can hardly hold that against it, and in this kind of reaction video format, it just flourished. And yeah, what a great recommendation. I cannot recommend it enough. It's fantastic. So yeah, I think I'll do the OVAs next week, as well as Night is Short, Walk On Girl, or maybe the OVAs will be a midweek video. I wouldn't want to separate that into its own video, actually. I might just. I'll probably do them all in one run, all three OVAs, and then watch the movie next week. Either way, I'll see how I go. Thank you for coming on the Tatami Galaxy journey with me. It isn't finished yet, but thank you for your time so far. Just my shill stuff one more time. If you like the video, consider liking the video. If you like the video and want to see more, consider subscribing to the channel. Comment below anything you thought about the episode, anything I can do to improve my presentation, comment below. And I'm doing follow for follow on Twitter, so follow me on Twitter if you would like me to follow you back. Rightio. Thank you very much for watching the Tatami Galaxy with me, and I'll catch you guys later.